How did we get here? How did a country that says thank you for your service end up with tens of thousands of veterans sleeping in shelters, in cars, and on the street? It didn't happen overnight. There's a story behind veteran homelessness, one that almost nobody tells. In this video, we're going to walk through how veteran homelessness became a crisis, the progress we've actually made, and where hope still lives. Stay with me, because once you see the history, you'll never look at a homeless veteran the same way again. Hey, I'm Willie Smith, founder of Basecamp United Foundation. At Basecamp, we believe no veteran should be left without a safe place to sleep, a warm meal, or the dignity they earned through their service. We don't just talk about veterans, we stand with them. Today, I want to give you the big picture, where this problem came from, what's been done, and what still needs us. Let's start at the beginning. Veteran homelessness didn't just show up in the 1980s. After every major war, the Civil War, World War I, World War II, there were veterans who came home injured, broke, and unable to work. Back then, we didn't use words like homelessness or PTSD. We used words like tramp, vagrant, or pauper. Help looked like old soldiers' homes, charity from churches, poorhouses, and asylums. There was no real organized national system. If you fell through the cracks, you just fell. The idea was basically, if you're struggling, it must be your fault. Sound familiar? So from the very beginning, we had veterans in poverty, just not the language or the data to describe it. Fast forward to the 1970s and 1980s after the Vietnam War. Thousands of veterans came home with what we now recognize as PTSD, depression, anxiety, and substance use struggles. But at the time, very few people understood that. At the same time, America was going through big changes. Cheap rooming houses and single-room hotels were being torn down. Mental hospitals were being emptied without enough community support. The economy was unstable and unemployment was high in many places. Suddenly, for the first time, large numbers of people were visibly living on the streets in big cities. Among them, a lot of Vietnam-era veterans. This is when the phrase homeless vets starts to really show up in the news. How is it that someone who wore the uniform is now sleeping on a sidewalk? That question pushed veteran homelessness from a quiet tragedy into a public crisis. In 1987, the U.S. passed the McKinney-Vento Homeless Assistance Act, the first major federal law to directly address homelessness. It funded emergency shelters, transitional housing services to help people get back on their feet. Veteran advocates were loud. No one who served this country should be without a home. Slowly, the Department of Veterans Affairs started creating programs specifically for homeless vets, outreach teams, healthcare focused on homelessness, transitional housing tied to VA services. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't enough, but it was a start. For the first time, the government wasn't just saying, "That's sad." They were saying, "We've got a responsibility here." In the 1990s and 2000s, something important shifted. Instead of saying, "Get sober, fix your life, then we'll talk about housing," research and experience started to show the opposite worked better. Give people housing first, then surround them with services. This is called Housing First. For veterans, a key program in this movement is HUD-VASH, a partnership between HUD, Housing and Urban Development, which provides rental vouchers, and the VA, which provides case management and clinical support. Here's what that means in real life. A veteran who's been on the street can get a permanent place to live, not just a mat on a shelter floor, a case manager to help with appointments, benefits, and daily life, access to mental health care, addiction treatment, medical care. When communities really leaned into this model, something amazing happened. The number of homeless veterans started to drop. In fact, if you look at the national data from around 2010 onward, veteran homelessness in the U.S. has been cut dramatically, roughly in half over about a decade. That's huge. It proves that veteran homelessness is not some unchangeable disease. When we combine housing plus support, the numbers go down. Around 2009, 2010, the federal government went bold and said, we're going to end veteran homelessness. Cities and states across the country joined in. Some even hit what's called functional zero for veteran homelessness, meaning every veteran who became homeless could be quickly identified and offered housing and support, and long-term street homelessness among vets was basically eliminated. Now, that doesn't mean no vet ever struggles. It means the system responds fast enough that there aren't veterans just stuck out there for months and years with no path inside. That's the hopeful side of this story. We've seen proof that focused effort, data outreach, vouchers, case management can move veterans off the streets and into homes. So you might ask, if we've made so much progress, why are we still seeing homeless vets everywhere? Why does it still feel this bad? There are a few big reasons. One, the affordable housing crisis. Rents and home prices have exploded in many areas. Even with a voucher, veterans struggle to find landlords willing to rent to them. In some cities, there just aren't enough units, period. Two, ongoing trauma and mental health. PTSD, depression, anxiety, and substance use disorders don't disappear just because someone gets a bed. Without long-term support, some vets fall back into crisis and lose housing again. Three, complicated systems. To get help, veterans may have to navigate VA healthcare, benefits offices, housing authorities, nonprofits, shelters, and local programs. That's a lot, even for someone who's stable, for someone who's exhausted, traumatized, and maybe using substances to cope. It can feel impossible. 4, discharge status and paperwork. Some vets have discharge statuses that limit their access to certain VA benefits, even when their struggles are linked to their service. So yes, we've made real progress, but the pressure from housing costs, mental health, and bureaucracy keeps feeding the problem. So what do we do with all this? We can't change the past. We can't go back and fix every policy decision or every missed opportunity, but we can change what happens next. At Basecamp United Foundation, we step into this story at the point of crisis. When a veteran has nowhere to go, when they're choosing between a shelter, a car, or the street, when they feel forgotten and ashamed. Our vision is simple. No veteran left without a safe place to sleep, a warm meal, or the dignity they earned. That means creating safe, stable places where vets can land, offering nourishment physically, emotionally, spiritually, helping them find tools for self-sufficiency, benefits, jobs, life skills, community. We don't just want veterans to survive. We want them to heal and thrive. So, why did I walk you through all this history? Because veteran homelessness is not just sad pictures on the news. It's the result of decisions, some good, some terrible, over decades. And right now, you and I are part of that story. You can respond in 2 ways. Look away. Tell yourself, that's just the way it is. Lean in. Say, not on my watch. I can't fix everything, but I can do something. We've already seen that when we focus, When we fund housing and support, the numbers go down. That means your support, your voice, your generosity actually matters. If this opened your eyes, I want to invite you to do 3 simple things. 1, share this video. Most people have no idea how we got here. Help them understand the story behind veteran homelessness. 2, subscribe and stay connected. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss future videos about veterans, faith, and real stories of rebuilding. 3, partner with Basecamp United Foundation. If you're able, consider giving, volunteering, or spreading the word about Basecamp. Your support helps us provide shelter, nourishment, and a path forward for the men and women who wore the uniform and now need us to show up. To every veteran watching this, you are not forgotten. Your service matters, and your story is not over. Thank you for watching, and thank you for standing with our heroes.